last year I went to go swim with the whale sharks and manta rays at Georgia Aquarium, even though I didn't know how to swim. Let's see how that went. Okay, so just to kind of give some background, basically last year I was able to attend a veterinary conference for my job at Savannah, and I decided why not check something off my bucket list, which is being able to check out Georgia Aquarium, which is the largest aquarium in the United States. And they're well known. I think they're the only aquarium in the United States that has whale sharks. But when I had researched on the website to buy the admission ticket, I realized that there are a lot of fun experiences there at Georgia Aquarium. And the one that stood out the most was either diving or swimming with the gentle giants, aka the whale sharks and the manta rays. How amazing! So I looked into it. I did not want to do the diving part because you would have to get a scuba certificate before you would even do that. I didn't want to go for that. And so I decided to go for the other option, which is swimming instead. The only caveat is that I didn't know how to swim. So let's start off with exploring the aquarium. One thing to know about the Journey with Gentle Giants experience is that you do need to purchase a general admission ticket to the Georgia Aquarium separately. Since I had some time before my scheduled swim, I spent the first part of my day just exploring the aquarium. There is so much to see here. I saw sharks, eels, jellyfish, sea turtles, manta rays, and of course I had to say hi to the belugas. And of course, another thing too is that I brought my little digital camera, so you're going to see clips of me because I just needed to document everything. But I think my favorite part of the aquarium was Ocean Voyager. There's this moving walkway that takes you through a huge underwater tunnel, so you can basically just stand there and let it carry you while you look around. And I loved this. You have sea creatures swimming beside you and directly over your head, and because you don't even have to think about walking, you can just stand there and take everything in. Little did I know that pretty soon, instead of looking at Ocean Voyager from down here, I was going to be inside of it. And now it was finally time for the reason I came here in the first place: swimming with the gentle giants. I headed over to the designated meeting spot where our group was checked in and escorted behind the scenes. They first brought us into a room where we watched an orientation video that went over what to expect, the rules, and how the experience is going to work. While we're in the water, there are staff members monitoring the group from both the front and the back, and everyone is paired with another person doing the excursion as their buddy. After orientation, it was time to split up. We changed into our wetsuits and we're also given flotation gear that helps keep you at the surface while you're snorkeling. And that flotation gear was about to become very important for me because, like what I said earlier, I have a confession to make. I don't know how to swim, and I still don't. And I would like to put a very big disclaimer here. Please do not use me as an example. I am not encouraging anyone who doesn't know how to swim to just throw on some flotation gear and hope for the best. I actually planned on taking swimming lessons before this trip, and then I never did. So there I was, already have spent on this ticket, about to get into a 6 million gallon habitat with a whale shark, unable to swim. Great planning on my part. Now here's about getting in the water. Once I actually got into the water, I'm not going to lie, the beginning was a little rough for me. I was already nervous, and then I kept getting water inside my goggles, so I couldn't really get comfortable with the snorkeling gear. I got really anxious. So for the beginning of the swim, I kept stopping and taking these little breaks to calm myself down and got comfortable again. And I'm glad I did, because eventually I started to figure it out. Once I realized I didn't need to rush and could just gently wade along, I finally started to relax. I stopped focusing so much on what I was doing and actually started to look at what was underneath me. And that was when this experience became incredible. There were manta rays gliding underneath us, fish everywhere, and then these absolutely massive whale sharks swimming right beside us. I knew they were going to be big, but seeing a whale shark through the aquarium glass and actually being in the water with one are two completely different experiences. And something really important they tell you during orientation is that you are not allowed to touch any of the animals, which is completely understandable. However, apparently nobody gave the whale sharks that same rule. We can't touch them, but that doesn't mean they can't touch us. I cannot imagine being that person. I also purchased the video add-on for the experience, and I'm so glad that I did. Obviously, I was a little preoccupied with the whole trying to snorkel while not knowing how to swim situation, so I wasn't exactly in a position to document this myself. And now I have actual footage of this bucket list experience I can keep forever. Honestly, watching it back makes me appreciate the experience even more because there were things happening around me that I didn't even notice while I was in the water. Final thoughts. Would I recommend Journey with Gentle Giants? Absolutely. Even with how anxious I was in the beginning, I'm so glad I pushed through that initial discomfort because once I relaxed, I was finally able to look around and realize I'm swimming with a whale shark right now. There was just something that had been on my bucket list for such a long time, and getting to see whale sharks and manta rays this close was genuinely incredible. If you're comfortable in the water, and preferably actually know how to swim, unlike me, I highly recommend this experience if you ever visit the Georgia Aquarium. And just like that, swimming with whale sharks officially crossed off the bucket list. This is me, Cindy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until again, see you.